The walls could be closing in on killer Sarah in upcoming Coronation Street scenes, but as the police prepare to make an arrest for Theo's murder, Kit goes rogue once more in a bid to protect her. Meanwhile, Betsy collapses at home, leaving her terrified mum Lisa with questions. And, as her exit looms, Cassie faces her demons in the form of Tyrone's father, Ross. Read up on all the latest spoilers for next week, and check out our brand new picture gallery on what's to come. 1. Sarah's guilt intensifies as Kit continues to suspect Gary. Kit spies Gary and Maria arguing and tells Lisa he's suspicious. Lisa points out that Kit is off the murder case, while an upset Maria confides in Sarah that her marriage is falling apart. Sarah speaks to Gary about her mounting guilt over murdering Theo, but he pleads with her to keep quiet, or he could go to prison. 2. Cassie confides her blackmail ordeal as Ross makes his presence felt. Tyrone's golf day with his newfound father Ross ends in disaster when Ty puts his back out. As Ross makes it clear he wants a relationship with his son, Bernie clocks how uneasy Cassie is around Ross. Cassie tells Bernie someone is blackmailing her and Bernie urges her to tackle the situation head-on. 3. Kit proposes to Sarah. When Sarah arrives home, Kit has cooked them a romantic lunch. After weeks of holding on to an engagement ring, Kit drops to one knee and pops the question. But how will preoccupied Sarah respond? 4. Dylan and Betsy make the most of their time together. After a failed attempt to cook breakfast for Dylan, Betsy asks him for some cooking lessons and he shows her how to make a bolognese. Dylan assures Betsy they can make a long-distance relationship work. She smiles as they share a hug. 5. Cassie tries to warn Tracy about Ross. Tyrone senses something is going on with Cassie and Steve, and he's shocked by what he discovers. Cassie is equally shocked that Ross has stayed the night with Tracy. After he leaves, she tries to warn Tracy that Ross is not to be trusted. But Tracy pays no mind to Cassie's attempt to help her. 6. Betsy suffers a serious medical emergency. There's panic when an ambulance pulls up on the street. At the hospital, Ryan explains to Carla that he found Betsy unconscious on the kitchen floor. A nurse informs a tearful Lisa that they're taking Betsy for an MRI scan, but Dylan raises the alarm that Betsy seems to be having a seizure. Lisa and Carla watch in horror as the doctor tends to Betsy. 7. Kit hatches a plan to save Sarah from prison. Kit soon has full knowledge of Sarah's secret and he warns her that her freedom rests on Gary. As Kit tells Sarah she needs to get hold of Gary's phone so they can delete any data that could incriminate her, can she get hold of the device? 8. Lisa accuses Dylan of causing Betsy's collapse. An emotional Betsy begs Lisa not to blame Dylan for what happened. But Sean is suspicious when Dylan shuts down his suggestion that they visit Betsy together. Sean is shocked when Lisa furiously turns on Dylan and blames him for Betsy's collapse. Lisa heads to the police station and insists on reporting a crime. 9. Chesney and Gemma worry about Joseph's schoolwork. Joseph hands Chesney and Gemma his school report and makes a quick exit. The pair are taken aback to learn that Joseph is often late with his homework. Gemma tells Bernie that Joseph is falling behind with homework because it's impossible for him to concentrate at home. Chesney is grateful when Bernie says Joseph can study in peace at her place. 10. Cassie schemes to get Ross out of the picture. Witnessing Tracy and Ross snogging on the street, Cassie tells Tracy she saw Ross going into the bistro with some flowers, and Tracy's good mood disappears. When Tyrone and Hope warn Ross that Tracy is bad news, Ross doesn't take them seriously. 11. The Winterbrowns receive news after a financial setback. Chesney tells Gemma that Linda's holiday rental business has gone bankrupt and she can't afford Joseph's school fees anymore. He looks into taking out a loan, but Bernie is horrified at the thought of them getting into debt. Thankfully, Gemma and Chesney later tell Joseph that Linda has managed to find the money for his school fees. 12. Mary calls out Christina's deception. George and Christina return home to find Mary holding a flash sale and flogging some household items recently bought by Christina. While Christina is furious, Mary points out that they were bought with her card, so they're hers to sell. 13. Dylan is arrested. Dylan is upset when Lauren tells him Betsy is in a bad way and she doesn't want to see him. A shocked Fizz relays to Sean that she's seen 2 police officers arresting Dylan. Unaware Lauren told Dylan to stay away, Betsy is stunned to hear Lisa has reported him to the police. 14. Cassie decides to come clean as Ross tries to intimidate her. Unaware of Cassie's meddling, Ross is bemused when Tracy gives him the cold shoulder. He explains about the flowers, but Tracy is furious when he says he wants to cool things off between them to focus on Tyrone. Ross calls in on Cassie and warns her to stop interfering in his life. But after being given her marching orders by Tyrone, Cassie decides it's time to tell Steve the truth. 15. Christina hasn't learned her lesson. Mary continues to make jibes at Christina over her fraudulent spending. When Christina looks at a message saying, "Package out for delivery," her heart sinks. 16. Dylan makes a big accusation. When Sean and Dylan go to the Rovers, Lauren refuses to serve them. Soon, Dylan announces that he believes Brody was responsible for what happened to Betsy. When Brody and Betsy hear this allegation, how will they react? 17. The police close in on another suspect for Theo's murder. Kit makes a secret call to the guy tasked with wiping the data on Gary's phone, asking him to email over any information he finds. On the street, DC McLaughlin tells Lisa that they're ready to arrest Theo's murderer. But given their previous wrong moves, will it be Sarah facing charges or another innocent party? Next week on Coronation Street, Weatherfield is thrown into complete chaos as shocking secrets, emotional confessions, and dangerous accusations leave several lives hanging in the balance. The biggest shock comes when Betsy suddenly collapses, leaving everyone terrified. As panic spreads across the street, Lisa refuses to believe it was simply bad luck. Determined to uncover the truth, she begins investigating everyone close to Betsy, and suspicion quickly falls on Dylan. With emotions running high, Dylan insists he's innocent, but mounting evidence threatens to destroy his future before he has a chance to defend himself. Meanwhile, Sarah is crushed by guilt over the dark secret she's been carrying. Unable to cope any longer, she makes the life-changing decision to tell Kit everything she knows. Her confession could change their relationship forever, and send shockwaves through Weatherfield. As Kit struggles to process the truth, he realizes the case he's investigating may be far more complicated than he imagined. Elsewhere, Kit finds himself facing another life-changing decision as romance takes center stage. But just when happiness seems possible, unexpected revelations threaten to ruin everything before the celebrations can even begin. Friends begin questioning whether love can really survive so many dangerous secrets. Cassie also faces an emotional week. Forced to confront painful memories, she finally explains why Ross continues to haunt her thoughts. Opening up proves harder than expected, but the truth may finally help her begin moving forward. Christina's mysterious behavior raises eyebrows as long-buried secrets begin resurfacing. Her carefully constructed world starts falling apart, and someone from her past could change everything in an instant. Abby becomes increasingly worried as another crisis unfolds, while Kevin desperately tries to hold his family together. Tensions continue to rise as old rivalries return and new enemies emerge across the cobbles. Steve finds himself caught in an awkward situation that quickly spirals out of control, leading to unexpected consequences. Meanwhile, Tracy isn't prepared to stay quiet for long, adding even more drama to an already explosive week. The younger residents also face difficult choices as friendships are tested like never before. Loyalties shift, accusations fly, and one heartbreaking decision could have lasting consequences for several families. As Friday arrives, the street is left reeling. Questions remain unanswered, relationships hang by a thread, and several residents face uncertain futures. While some secrets finally come into the open, others become even more dangerous. By the end of the week, viewers will be left wondering who can truly be trusted. With lives changed forever, emotional confrontations, police investigations, and shocking twists promise one of the most dramatic weeks Coronation Street has delivered this year. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Crown ST.